Hello, welcome to the third episode of Beyond the Scoreboard with Eric.
And Blake.
And today, we don't have a title for this episode just yet, and we are currently recording this at 6:41 p.m. on March 18th. So, if any of these topics seem to be out of date, we are sorry. Now, Blake, we got some more football stuff that we kind of left out in the last episode. Now, the first thing I'll go over, pretty simple. The Chiefs have signed a wide receiver that they kind of need, and that's Marquise Brown. He's going to the Chiefs for a 1 year, $7 million deal, with that being worth up to 11. What do you think about this signing for Kansas City?
Good. He's a deep threat, and I don't think he'll drop the ball as much as the previous Chiefs wide receivers. He's a versatile player. I think he'll give Mahomes more deep shots, and Mahomes likes to take those deep shots. So it's gonna be interesting on what he does.
The
And
thing that
when he got signed, he was live streaming, I think, on Twitch. And when he announced it, he was playing Taylor Swift music, or the Sway. No, the Sway that they played in the playoffs against the Dolphins. Remember that song? Remember the song that they were playing?
yeah, I do remember that.
So he was playing that music in the background, and I think like Taylor Swift music. So and before he what's the word? Before he signed with the team, he talked to Andy Reid by like a text message, and it was Andy Reid. The head coach persuaded him by like one word, and that was diamonds. Cause like when you have a ring, it has like diamonds and stuff, like diamonds
Exactly.
on it. And that was like the thing that like persuaded him immediately was the diamonds, and also the players that are on that team.
Yeah,
Because they kept majority of their like star core pieces, so they're gonna run it back.
it's very true.
So, but the next thing we can talk about though is Tyron Smith to the Jets on a 1 year deal up to $20 million. I like that a
They
lot.
needed a lineman.
Yeah. Well,
They
they've been doing
definitely
pretty
did.
good. They've been doing pretty good for O-line. They got Morgan Moses from Baltimore. They got Tyron Smith, and they got some other fellow. But anyway, 3 of the linemen are 30 plus years old, so that's pretty scary. But at least
At
the
the same
veterans.
time, it shows that they have veterans and there's experience there.
Yeah.
Which
And also,
it's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. It's very on the fence.
What I like is though, so against the Bills game, if you look back, it was Leonard Floyd who sacked Aaron Rodgers, and I believe it was I think from the TV's perspective, it was on the right side, but I think in play was the left side. And Tyron Smith plays left tackle.
I think he came from the left side.
Yeah, so Tyron Smith will take take that left side position. So I feel a lot more comfortable with Aaron Rodgers, scrambling with Tyron Smith on one side.
Yeah.
So
I think this is a great free agency signing.
Yeah.
Probably one of the better ones that the Jets have made.
Yeah. Probably one of the good ones. But hey, that's a lot of money though. 20 years for 1 year.
Yeah. I don't think that's all guaranteed. But I think it's up to 20 million.
I'm sure it's not all guaranteed. That'd be crazy if it was 20 million.
Now, here's another topic, Blake, which in my opinion, probably one of the biggest steals of the entire free agency so far.
Yeah.
If not the whole thing, The Bears are receiving Keenan Allen in exchange for a 4th round pick. This trade, again, probably one of the best fleece jobs known to mankind so far. And this is Chicago we're talking about.
Yeah, that was a crazy trade. So, I'm looking forward to it. But the thing is, ultimately, that's the best deal I think they're gonna get out of it. Because the thing is, is that he is getting older, and when players get older, they digress. Not saying that all players do, but eventually you're gonna hit a point in your life where you're not producing at the high level you once were, and so I think this was gonna be the best deal that they could get with Keenan Allen, as he is still somewhat in his prime still. So I think this was gonna be the best bet that the bet the Bears were gonna get, and also this is great for the Bears because
They
it
needed
gives them
somebody. They needed somebody in there.
they get someone, and also because they're gonna draft Caleb Williams now because spoiler, Justin Fields went to the Steelers, and for a conditional 6, for that 6 can become a 4th if
If he
he
plays,
plays 51% of snaps,
which I don't think he will.
which he's not.
Unless Russ
Steelers,
were to get injured, which
but the Steelers already said that they are going to stay with Russell Wilson for opening day. So back to the Bears. They're going to draft Caleb Williams most likely, and so I think he'll have great weapons. DJ Moore, Allen, and I believe who's the third? Who's the third? Oh well, Cole Kmet they'll have as a tight end, but they're gonna have great weapons for him to get targeted on.
I mean, they no
Yeah,
longer have Mooney, but I'm trying to think.
get
Obviously,
done
there's
on
Keenan
Mooney.
Allen, DJ Moore, and then there's
But
I don't know,
Cole Kmet.
and
But
Kokomet. Those are them three, and Caleb Williams. That's going to be a big four
he'll
on
have
offense.
he'll have good weapons to throw to. So the Bears are gonna expect a lot from him though, which I think will do, without no doubt in my mind. But so yeah, Bears got a 4th, which I think was a good deal for both parties because I think the Chargers were gonna get the most value with that because I don't think any other team was gonna give up a 3rd for
Yeah.
him.
Now, speaking of fourth round picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
Eagles just got a fourth round pick recently, but they also got a
Yeah.
quarterback in the name of Kenny Pickett
Yeah.
in exchange for a third and 2 7s, which is rough, in my opinion. I don't know if they won that trade or not. If anything, I think Pittsburgh won this trade.
Kenny Pickett said in the interviews today that business is business, and he handled it. He handled it how he wanted to handle it. So, remember, just like Saquon and everything else, there's a business to it. It sucks, he was on your team a few months ago. Now he's off. Every year's different. The surprising teams. But hey, business is business, and Eagles has got a really solid backup. Who knows what will happen? If Jalen Hurts goes out, I mean, we don't want to see him get injured, but Kenny Pickett, I think, is a reliable guy. Especially, he'll have a lot more weapons. Run the ball more. He knows players. He knows that they're better players on this team than they were on the Steelers in terms of offensive players. So I think it's a great opportunity for Kenny Pickett to get experience with new players, new foundation, new philosophy, and really get to know the business side of the NFL, and that you won't be on the same team for your whole life because very few can. But luckily though, Aaron Donald, after 10 years, retired for the Rams. Did all 10 years together, All Pro, first team All Pro multiple times, most Pro Bowl since 2014. Leading sacks, tied with Michael
And
Strahan,
a Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl, champion. So Kenny Pickett again, good for him. He gets to get out of Pittsburgh, gets himself enforced with a new philosophy and how to run an offense differently. As for Aaron Donald, congrats to him with him retiring. A lot of big retirings: Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, Aaron Donald, to name a few. Also, Van Der Esch, the Cowboys linebacker, retired after 7 years.
Oh, so
So,
but I don't think it was his choice. I think he medically retired.
yeah, it's medically, yeah. Yeah, he medically retired. He didn't say
I think
that.
he had to.
Yeah, he just got banged up way too much. But
Yeah, no, I feel for the guy, man, because in my opinion, he was great. in
Yeah, he was
Dallas.
good. He was good.
He was really good in Dallas.
All right.
But
What do you want to talk about?
again, when you were talking about Kenny Pickett, a new philosophy in Philly. The thing is, the coaching staff is gonna be great for him. But I feel like
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts can actually take him under his wing. And I feel like Kenny Pickett can actually learn a lot from Jalen Hurts. As much as I shit on him, he can learn a lot because Jalen Hurts is a dual threat quarterback. He loves to scramble. He loves to throw the ball. He'll have an arm on him occasionally.
Mm,
Kenny Pickett is a very similar way. Back when he was in college too. Now I feel like in Pittsburgh he was kind of shearing away from the dual threat ability that Kenny Pickett had when he was in Pitt. You know what I mean? But I feel
mhm.
like under Jalen Hurts he can redevelop that and make it better. That's what I think. And again, that philosophy is going to help him get in there, I think.
Yeah.
I'll let you introduce the next topic.
So, Chase Young signed a 1-year deal up to $13 million for the Saints. Good signing for the Saints. I just hope Chase Young shows some effort because in I believe the Lions AFC Championship game, there was a play where uh David Montgomery or Jimmy Gibbs broke out of the pocket, and you saw there's a photo of Chase Young just walking to go get him, maybe to save energy, but I guess wasn't show effort. But he's good. He's good. He got a sack in the Super Bowl, so that's pretty impressive of him. Um, a good player, good edge rusher. The Saints. That's definitely a big upgrade for them, especially not giving anything big in value up for him. Right now, he's just being tossed around to teams left and right. So that's business in the NFL. But hey,
It
13.
is.
I would love to make 13 million though, just to move to New Orleans. So
Yeah, well, to back up your statement a little bit, Chase Young, he's a very good defensive lineman. But when he's healthy, he's good. And he's had a lot of injuries in the past, especially when he was in DC. But and I feel like that has like an impact on his play style now. What do you think about it?
so Chase Young is very talented. I mean, he got drafted like I think the third overall pick or something, like top
Yeah, I
five
think he was
pick.
a top 5 pick at least.
So he definitely has the talent to be great and to do great things. But right now, I think he's just in a point of his life where dealing with injuries and all. I think he's gotta give the kid some time, and he'll get back to his roots of being that top five pick right now, or to become
Yeah,
that he
anyway.
once was.
He was actually a number 2 pick, Chase Young.
Number two. Number two. I knew it was the top five. I didn't know which one it
Yeah, I
was.
didn't. I didn't. I didn't know. I just looked it up a little bit, to be honest with you.
Uh,
But anyway, so Blake, speaking of people who didn't really get the respect that they deserved, Garoppolo is going to the Rams for a 1-year deal. They didn't really
yeah.
disclose the in and outs of the contract itself, but I do know that he's going to be there on a backup position because Stafford's definitely starting over him. But I feel like he didn't get the respect that he kind of deserved, especially when he was in San Francisco. He led the team to a Super Bowl. They may not have won, but it showed that he deserves to be a starting quarterback. And I think when he went to Vegas, he kind of lost that respect,
Mm-hmm.
especially at the start of this past season. He lost all of that respect. Do you think he did?
Well, I think that he's getting older. He's, I believe, what, in his 30s, maybe?
Yeah, 100%.
So, oh, yeah, 32. He's 32 years old.
Yeah.
So, I think I think he's going to be a veteran just to. I mean, they have Matthew Stafford still. He may retire soon, so I don't know what this signing was, but hey,
Hey, look, they needed a backup quarterback
yeah.
because obviously they had Carson Wentz this past season, and then They didn't have anybody else, I don't think. So they needed some backup for worst case scenario. Matt Stafford gets hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed to do it. I don't think he's getting that much money, but they
Mm-hmm.
needed to do something about it. But okay, anyway, I'll let you discuss this final topic for football.
The Bills are extending corner Taron Johnson to a 3-year, $31 million deal. For once, the Bills are keeping a player. That's good. Good, solid corner, you know. They have to see what happens, but solid corner, you know. Something to build off of. But other than that, that is pretty much it for basketball. Football. But going into basketball, Knicks are the 4th seed right now, being up 40 to 27. And they are playing the Golden State Warriors tonight, so it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a very interesting game.
Jalen Brunson's been popping off. He's the 4th Knicks player to average 40 points in multiple games. They have held their last 3 opponents to under 100 points. Very good.
Yeah, that's the one
Um,
thing that the Knicks don't get a lot of credit for is their defense. They
you know,
actually have a great
their
defense.
defense is very good. You know, injuries. OG Anunoby. He came back, but he's sitting out tonight's game. Robinson. Randall. So hopefully they got all those players back healthy, but they should all be ready hopefully by postseason time. I know Julius Randle might, OG will, Mitchell Robinson I do not know about yet. But Knicks are doing good. They're the 4th seed, but Orlando Magic's like a game behind them. So right now that's steady 4th seed. Yeah, I think they're 3 wins behind of the 3rd seed. So if they keep their pace, there'll be a 4th or a 3rd seed, I'll predict. So a really solid team, But then again, there's a lot harder teams like the Celtics that they will have to go through eventually. But hey, they're doing good. Keep doing their thing. They'll get healthy, and with the healthy players back, there'll be a new scheme fit around them, and hopefully teams don't know how to beat it, and the Knicks can win it.
Yeah, 100%. Now, one of the best teams in the league right now, the Boston Celtics, unfortunately. They
Yeah,
have
they claim.
they're the first team this season to actually clinch playoff spot, no
Yeah.
plan, which is
Mhm.
for them it's a good thing. But
Yeah.
let's travel back in time just a little bit, back when they had an 11-game win streak. That win streak was snapped by the Cavaliers by a dude named Dean Wade,
Yeah. That
who
was crazy.
absolutely popped off in the fourth quarter. He had what, 25 points in the fourth? Something along those lines. But whatever it was a comeback, and the Cleveland Cavaliers ended up winning that game. Now, I thought that was going to be a spiral downward. It wasn't. Unfortunately, it's the Boston Celtics. We don't like the Celtics, but they're doing really good. They're definitely one of the best teams in the league.
What basketball team do you like?
Well, you know that I'm a Knicks fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, what are you, a Nets fan? Do we have to have this
No.
discussion again? Okay, good. I'm just making sure.
I'm a Bucks fan. No, you're a Bucks fan, I thought.
Well, I'm a Bucks fan because of Giannis.
Yeah, so you're a Bucks
Because he's
fan. I'm a
he's
Knicks
the
fan.
Greek freak. But come on, I'm a Knicks fan.
I don't think Knicks fans would like that
All
if
right.
you like
Well, let me tell
Giannis.
you something. The Bucks are doing great, and I'm loving it. When the Bucks and
So,
Knicks play each other, I don't watch the game because they're both my favorite teams.
so you're a Bucks fan. Okay, that's settled. I'm a Knicks, you're a Bucks. Alright, we're enemies. Alright. But moving on. Miami's on a tear. They won their previous game by a buzzer beater by Bam Adebayo against the Pistons.
It's the Detroit Pistons. I wouldn't even call that a tear.
Well, it was a very close game. Eric Spoelstra was getting very mad. He slammed his he slammed some notes down on the floor.
What, like his clipboard or something?
Yeah, his clipboard. Yeah, he threw his clipboard on the ground, and he was pretty annoyed. It was a really close game, even though it should not have been that close. But the Bucks right now are the 7th seed. I mean, they're not tearing. They're 37-30,
No,
but
Miami. Where's Miami? 6?
that's 7th. But the thing is, if you look through 7 to basically 4, there's only a 3-game difference. So
Now what's the game buffer between the from 7th to 11th, which is the first spot out of the play-in?
well, 7 and 8 are tied, and that's the Sixers and the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 9 through 11, there's a 4 or 5 game difference. So they don't
from
need to
7
worry.
to 11, what is it? 7?
So the 11th are the Nets at 26 and 42. And then Hawks 30 and 37, Bulls 33-35, 76ers 37-30, Heat 37-30. So it's only really close between the 7th and the 8th
So it's
seed.
about a 3 to 4. It's about a 4 to 5 game buffer. So
Yeah. But the Heat, they're 1 game
it
behind
can go either way. That's the thing.
the
It can
Heat,
go
and the
either
thing
way.
is, the Heat are 1 game behind the Pacers. And then, Magic got 2 games behind the Magic got 2 games ahead of the Pacers. So 7th through 5th are still, well, really 7th through the 4th are really up for grabs. The 3rd seed, the Knicks are behind by 2, Bucks are ahead by 2 against the Cavs, and then the Celtics are, I'm not doing that, I think 9 games ahead of the Bucks. So that ain't happening.
Well, that's very true. Now, let me ask you something,
But
Blake.
luckily, sorry to interrupt, luckily the Cavaliers did lose their previous games. Now, since the Knicks are on a 3-game winning streak, now they're 2 games behind instead of 3 games behind. So then if the Knicks can keep winning and the Cavs maybe lose 1 or 2 more, there's a good chance that the Knicks could get the 3 seed.
It's a very true thing. Now, let me ask you a question.
Mm.
What's your playoff prediction? And I'll let you start with the Eastern Conference first. 1 through 8.
Conference?
Yeah, 1 through 8. Just dumb it down. Who do you think's making each seed?
So Celtics obviously are gonna get the 1.
Yeah, I don't think they're
That's
losing the
clear.
1 seed.
I think Bucks are gonna get the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that the thing is, I don't want the Knicks to get the 3rd seed, but you know what? I'm gonna go with, I think the Knicks are gonna get the 3rd seed. Cavs are gonna get the 4th. Pacers are gonna get the 5th. Magic are gonna get the 6th. Heat 7th. 76ers 8th.
So pretty much what it is right now, minus Cavs and Knicks switching.
Cavs and Bucks and Magic and Pacers switching. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yep.
Where did you say the Bucks were gonna go to, right?
Bucks are gonna go. So I have Celtics at 1. Bucks are gonna stay at 2.
Yeah.
The Knicks are gonna switch with the Cavs.
Mm-hmm. And then the Pacers are gonna switch with the Magic.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I like it.
And then you want to do the West?
Yeah, I'll do the West. I'm a little unprepared. I'm gonna need to have a look at the current Western Conference right now just to get a quick idea, if you don't mind. But I do think that the Thunder are gonna go number 1.
I disagree.
Do you?
Yeah. But continue.
It's really tough. That's the problem. I think Thunder's going to stay at 1. Minnesota is going to go to 2. And then Denver at 3. Pelicans at 4. Clippers at 5. Dallas at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it is a very tough one. Because that 7 to 10 race is close.
Mm-hmm.
So at 7, I'm going with Golden State. Because I think that they're going to prove themselves in the play-in.
Mm.
Give me the Lakers at 8.
Okay.
So I think that the Suns are going to miss the playoffs entirely.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
No, I'm not saying they won't make the play-in. I'm saying they're going to lose in the play-in.
Yep. Okay. So like recap: Miami's on a tear. Knicks doing good. Celtics doing playoff predictions we did. And Ben Simmons is out for the remainder of the season. Draymond Green has the most 3-pointers than Larry Bird, which is very surprising.
Yeah, I can't believe that he has more, man.
But finally for basketball, let's talk about March Madness.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Well, it's actually starting tomorrow. On today's March 18th, but tomorrow is the start of women's on the 19th. You know, gotta shut out the women's March Madness. It's actually very entertaining. I watched Iowa play in the Big Ten tournament. They were doing really good. They were losing the whole game. Then Caitlin Clark just went on a tear in the fourth.
Yeah, well, I'm
But
going to tell you right now, in terms of the women's March Madness, there's only one team that I think that it can be, and that's Iowa. I think
okay.
they're gonna go on a tear, especially Caitlin Clark.
I don't think they will. Because if you look at the bracket, they're actually in a really bad spot as the number 1 seed. If you looked on the bracket, it'll be good, but the thing is, there are teams. I don't know the players' names. All I know is that analytically, they are not good in terms of the big men. The big man on Iowa is not very. She's good, obviously. She's D1 for a reason, but there are other women in that conference. I forget which side they're on, but as for like division's sake, but there are way better centers and power forwards than Iowa. They have Caitlin. They have good shooters, but other than that, they're gonna need a lot more help with their centers and power forwards. I don't think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go for a run, but I think they're gonna lose around the Elite Eight. I think they're gonna lose around the Elite Eight, and because the thing is that it's March Madness, baby. Like
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So I'm really looking forward to what these women can do in terms of upsets, because I love me some upsets.
I do too. There's nothing I love more than an upset, and every day I watch upsets and miracles within the sports world better than anyone. But the thing is, in my opinion, I only see two teams winning it all, and it's Iowa and USC.
Here we go. Yeah, so Iowa's in Albany too. They go by, I don't know what that means, but so Iowa plays some pretty tough teams.
So who do they play first?
Well, it depends on who wins on the first 4 in and out categories.
Yeah, you're right.
What's their name? Oh, Sacred Heart's in it. Shout out to the Sacred Heart. It's pretty cool. I know people that go to Sacred Heart. That's pretty awesome for them.
Yeah, that's a true fact.
Holy Cross and UT Martin. So these games start on. Oh, okay, yes. So not Tuesday, the 9th. Is this the 19th? The 20th. So
Wednesday.
Women's and men. The 20th is when the women start playing.
Like when the whole bracket's done.
In terms of the first 4, yes. That's yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll start when the men start, and the men start on the
21st,
19th.
So wait, they start a day before the women's?
Yeah. I'm looking here. The first, the 22nd is when most games are played. 23rd are most games played, and the first game I can see is the 20th. So yeah, men start a day earlier. Huh. I'm a little bit surprised because women finished first, so I would think they would get the honor of starting March Madness.
No doubt. Again, but, like I said before,
I'm excited for the women though. But you were gonna say?
And again, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying before, just really quickly. In my opinion, for the women's March Madness, there's only 2 teams that I really see winning this entire thing. That's Iowa and USC. I don't see maybe Stanford, but they're gonna have to put in a lot of work in order to get that
done. As for the men's, I made my bracket already. So for my bracket, let me pull it up. I made 3 brackets. I have Iowa State, Houston, and UConn as
Iowa
my.
State has a decent seed, right?
Iowa's the number 2 seed.
Iowa State
Yeah.
is a 2 seed, really? I mean, I knew that they won their conference championship, but I didn't think that they were going to get rewarded with a 2 seed.
So in my bracket of Iowa State in terms of just Final Four, I have Iowa State playing UNC, North Carolina, Wisconsin playing Purdue, and Iowa State versus Wisconsin in the final game, and Iowa State will take the win. As for my other bracket against Houston for my final four, I have Illinois versus Baylor, Houston versus Kansas. I know Kansas has not been looking good, but I have Houston winning the whole thing against Illinois. Then my final bracket, UConn. I have UConn beating UNC, and then Purdue beating Houston, and
Purdue's
UConn
not
beating
winning.
Purdue.
They don't have it, man.
March,
The team looks good, but
March Madness is different. That's all I gotta say.
that's what I'm saying. Like Zach Edey, there's only so much that he can do.
It's actually Zach Edey.
Edey, sorry, I didn't know that it was that you took offense to that. Are you his brother, his father?
Yep.
I apologize, sir. Anyway,
You're good.
Zach Edey, I don't think he has the manpower to do this. And again, it's March Madness. Anything can happen. I could be way wrong, and they end up winning the entire thing. I don't think that they can hack it. Now, there is a team who can hack it. It's not them, though.
Let me guess.
Definitely UConn.
Let me guess. High Point. Oh wait, they didn't make it.
Ooh, we're gonna go there.
Ooh, High Point.
Just to
didn't
let
make
you
it.
know, Longwood ended up winning that conference championship. They have a 16 seed.
Poor High Point.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Well, Longwood's gonna get a 16 seed, so that means they're playing a 1, which means who are they playing exactly?
What?
Longwood is in the same exact conference as High Point. They ended up losing. They ended up winning the conference championship.
Longwood plays Houston.
Yeah, they're not winning. I'd rather see them get bounced first round.
You know what sucks though? Jim Nance won't be broadcasting March Madness anymore.
What about Brad Nessler?
Oh, well, I care about Jim Nance. So
You're not the only one, but he doesn't do March Madness anymore. There's nothing I would love more than to see Gus Johnson commentating it again, but he doesn't do it anymore either.
you know, I want to see Tony Romo. Oh yeah, let's see.
God,
Tony
no,
Romo.
please no.
Yes.
I don't know,
Yes.
Jim.
I don't know, Jim. That's a little bit my homie.
He's gonna pull it any game that he commentates.
That 3-point was a little bit my homie. There's still 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Anyway, to dumb it down, there's only 2 teams that I think that are capable of winning the men's March Madness, and that's UConn and Houston.
Explain.
Well, UConn won it last year, and they may not have the same exact team that they have this year, but they still have that powerhouse, and their play style is unreal. And I see it again. At least the Final Four. I don't see them losing before that. And with Houston, they're just on another level. That's just it, plain and simple.
Really?
Yeah, plain and simple. Just cold, hard facts. I think that they can actually cause havoc in this bracket. That's all I'm going to say. Now, are we done with this topic?
Yeah. To sum it up, High Point did not make it.
Well, yeah, because they lost in the semifinals of the conference championship to Longwood, who ended up being UNC Asheville by 26 points to get a 16 seed, just to get bounced by Houston first round.
Yeah.
Look, I wouldn't have it any other way. High Point will be there next year. That's a promise.
I gotta say though.
What?
I gotta say though. So, but moving on. So, going to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Going to baseball. Aaron Judge is coming back on a Wednesday from issues, but he's coming back on Wednesday. Garrett Cole, the pitcher,
One of the
is going to be
greatest
out for
pitchers in
some
the league
time
right
with a
now.
right elbow discomfort for 3 to 4 weeks, but
I think he'll be good in time for
he'll
the
be back
season.
hopefully by opening day.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine before the season starts.
As for my Angels, the Los Angeles Angels, shout out to them. Obviously, for where I go to for college, I have to look after the Angels and how they're doing as part of my homework assignment. And they're 11-12. They lost today versus the Milwaukee Brewers, 3-4. Now their record is 11-12 overall. So, they're trying to get
They're
back
the
to winning.
definition of average.
And the Giants' PA announcer, Reneel Brooks Moon, part ways after 24 years. That's nice, 24 years as a commentator.
Look, it's a lot
or
of
announcer.
loyalty that comes into the game. When you're announcing a game for the team that you've been with for 24 years, that's how you know that they're loyal. But is he retiring or is he getting fired? Do you think it's retirement?
Yeah.
I think it's retirement too.
I mean, baseball right now, the season's going to start soon. And I think a couple of weeks, right? Yeah. So, I'm excited for that. But baseball's going to come around the corner soon. So, that's going to be fun and interesting to look at. Eric, do you want to close it off with some hockey news?
Might as well, right? Now, this very first trade, this is probably the biggest trade. I'm going to tell you right now that Vladimir Tarasenko was traded to the Florida Panthers from Ottawa, where Ottawa received a conditional 4th-round pick and a 3rd-round choice in 2025. What do you think about this trade here?
So you were saying?
I was saying Vladimir Tarasenko, he was traded to the Florida Panthers from Ottawa, and Ottawa received a conditional 4th, a conditional 4th-round pick, and a 3rd-round choice.
That's
What do you
pretty
think?
nice. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, I don't know much about the picks and how they work, but I mean, that's pretty good though. For a conditional 4th and a 3rd. But that's for 2025 though. So.
All right, I'll let you
continue.
introduce. I'll let you introduce it. No, I think it's a great trade.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time. It's about time that he left Ottawa. He was definitely mistreated there. So, I'll let you read off the next topic in hockey.
Capo? Is it Cap? How do you pronounce it?
Capo
Capo?
Kekkonen.
Yeah, however you say it. Was traded to the New Jersey Devils by the San Jose Sharks in an exchange for guard Vitek Vanecek and a 2025 7th-round pick.
It's not guard, it's goalie.
Oh, goalie. Sorry.
Vitek Vanecek, as well as the 2025 7th. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a habit, I get it.
What?
It's a habit. When you see G, you think guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all see that. I had to learn that one the hard way. Now, I'll introduce the next one. This was a big trade. San Jose, they were involved in a trade with Vegas, the Golden Knights, and the Sharks received forward David Oldstrom, as well as a
what position does he play?
Forward.
Okay.
As well as a 2025 first, in exchange for forward Tomas Hertl, a 2025 third, and a 2027 third. Which, by the way, in the NHL, draft picks are a little bit different. In like, because I think it's more than 7 rounds. I think I might be wrong, but I do know that 2/3 is good, but giving away your first isn't good.
Yeah.
But Vegas mainly wanted Tomas Hertl, so that's the reason that they made this trade. Other than that, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about Tomas's game. I don't know much about David Edstrom's game, but I do know that they're great players. They're both great forwards, and they both needed to move on, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
what about this next one you have up on the board?
sure, I'll introduce this one, and then you finish it off, Luke.
Yeah, I'll finish it off. Yeah.
The Montreal Canadiens were involved in a trade with the Devils in New Jersey, where the Canadiens received a 2025 third, and then the Devils received goalie Jake Allen, which is a great trade, and it's exactly the evaluation that they were looking for.
Yeah.
So, just to put it point blank, this is probably a good trade. Out of the 5 that we're going to mention today, there is just so many that it was not worth talking about.
Yeah.
To put it plain and simple. But I will let you finish off the entire episode here. So, go ahead.
The Minnesota Wild were involved in a trade with the Boston Bruins by receiving Luke. Oh, here we go again. Luke
Toporowski.
Popowinski.
No, Toporowski.
Whatever. And a 2026 second round pick in exchange for forward.
6th round pick.
Oh, 6th round pick in exchange for forward, right? Is that forward?
Yes.
Pat Maroon?
Yep.
Maroon?
Dude, it was a good trade.
Good trade. But this episode was a little bit shorter than usual.
Well, I mean, unless there is nothing to add.
Well, I mean, what we could add is, let's think about it. I mean,
let's have a quick debate. No more than 5-10 minutes. I just want to talk to you about something.
5 minutes. So I think, in terms of all the sports that we talked about, a lot of things are coming to an end. Spring off season's coming to an end, and then opening season will start, which will be good, nice. March Madness is starting, which ends in, I believe, April. Right? April.
About the 1st or 2nd week of April, yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But then that ends in April. But the good thing is though, is that it ends in April, but but basketball's ending soon in terms of the regular season. I believe it ends in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So
2 weeks, I think.
This is the best time to get involved in sports because everything's going on. Baseball, basketball, football, free agency signings, hockey. So now's a good time to be a sports fan. You want to say anything?
What I will say is that, in my professional sports opinion, I think that we're in. Now, keep in mind, there is March Madness. As NBA playoffs is coming around the corner. There's under 20 games left, which means play-in is going to start soon, and then eventually the playoffs, and then we're eventually going to have a winner. Now, I want to ask you something. Who do you think's winning it all?
Give me the Washington Wizards.
Give me the Detroit Pistons.
Nah, I mean, I like to see New York win. I'm a New York fan. I support all New York teams. I'm not biased towards any of them. I mean, except for the Giants. But, I want to see all of them to succeed and do well. So, I'd love to see the Knicks, make a run deep.
Give me the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
No, in all seriousness, I think Boston's going to win. I think they're too strong.
Yeah, they deserve it for a while.
I
You
think
know what?
whoever they
They
go up
lost their first time in
against,
the playoffs. I mean, in the they've always been losing the Western Conference semis. No, not the Western Conference.
Eastern,
Eastern Conference. They lost in the Eastern Conference semis, finals.
the finals.
The finals. So I think they really deserve it now. They earned their stripes by losing. Now they know what it takes to win, and if they win, I won't feel bad because they've been knocked down since 2018. Win the playoffs in the finals not that long ago. I think they finally should deserve it because they worked so hard and they're right there.
Yeah, 100%. And
I don't think Knicks would enjoy that though because Kristaps Porzingis is there. So
yeah, well, here's the thing. Going on and adding to what I was talking about, I think Boston is going to win. However, I do think that whoever they play in the finals, I think that series would go to 7. I don't think that they could sweep, and I don't think they can win in 5. So obviously,
oh
they could
yeah,
either win in 6 or 7, but it is going to a game 6 or 7 because
yeah,
they may be strong, but they can only hold off for so long. So if they let that
yeah,
happen,
yeah, yeah. No,
it's theirs
yeah,
to lose.
yeah.
So that's all I got. You want anything to add?
I think we should
Should wrap it up.
That's it.
Okay. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of Beyond the
Mhm.
Scoreboard with Eric,
And Blake.
and we will catch you in the next episode. Take care.